All right, all right, all right. So listen, first of all, we got a legend in the building. Okay, like I checked out your social media. I've been looking at your stuff. You're funny, funny. Okay, there's a lot of people that think they're funny. You're funny, funny, but how could you not be funny coming from the family that you come from? So first of all, welcome Chaunte Wayans
Hey.
of everything that she's doing, but you guys know the family name. Welcome to Montgomery and Company. Yes. This is my wife Serena, my sister Cole, and my snooker booker, which is my mom.
Hey, Snicker Booker.
Hey, how you doing, child? How you
I'm
doing?
sorry, I normally don't start off with the nickname, but how you doing?
That's just quite all right. Quite all right.
We love it. So I'm sure everyone growing up thought their family was fun, but y'all's family was hilarious. So what is it like? Is it really funny all the time, or is it just like, nah, we turn our funny on when we got to? Like, what is it like?
No, it's crazy. Even our seriousness, there's jokes. Like Damon has a story where he used to not spank his kids if they made him laugh. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So we have
what?
We have a lot of we could get away with some stuff if we could make you laugh.
Okay.
I love that. So you talked about his kids. Do y'all ever have like the OGs versus the new school? Like, oh, y'all ain't even funny. This ain't even funny. No, like, is there any that type of rivalry?
No, because for some reason, like Keenan and everybody, they still there. You know what I mean? They there and censored to the public, but in clothes, you still got in living color. We just can't put that out there.
I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
So no, I love that. So you guys toured together. You have the HBO Max comedy special. Marlon Wayans presents the headliners. It's streaming now, everyone. Just so check it out. But tell me about that. How that became about. Talk about it.
It's crazy. Pretty much all of us have opened for Marlon. Maybe not so much Tony Baker, but a lot of us have been on the road or worked with him in some type of shape or form. And, he's done a few specials and he's doing more stuff. And he wanted to kind of give back to the people that, he's done it for, or done it with. So that's how that came about. He wanted to get his team together and show that, we shouldn't necessarily just be opening anymore.
I like that.
Listen,
I like
listen,
that because he said
y'all are the type of funny that is belly laugh funny. Like,
Yes.
it like you think it's okay. That's the climax of funny, and then someone says something else, and then you keep laughing and laughing and laughing, and that's the part. It's not like some people can just tell a joke, and then you're like, "Ha, that was funny."
You might chuckle.
Yeah, you're like, "Ha ha ha."
They don't have to even say anything most of the time. It's just in the facial expressions and the body movements that you don't even have to say anything for it to be funny.
Yes, and that's the type of energy I love going to comedy shows, and where you literally the whole time you leave the next day you got pains in your side from laughing because you done worked out muscles and you ain't even know you had. That's the type of belly laughs that I know you and your family are about. So I love stuff like that. That's the good stuff.
Listen, when you said
And I wonder if
no, Mrs. Montgomery, please go.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I have a delay or something.
No.
I apologize. No, I thought there was a pause there, and I was going to ask, did your mom and dad ever have to calm y'all down from your comedy antics?
Man, my mother has it too. She could be a little bit more firm, but my mom was young. My mom was young when she had us, so she was a kid too, raising us. Like, we used to get, I think I got maybe 3 spankings in my life, and she would cry with me when she spanked me. So my dad wasn't there, but we had it was like that type of thing. And it's funny because to touch on Cole, you said it just keeps that's what I was trying to say with the last question, that it's like an alley-oop. Somebody gets the ball, it heightens the joke, and then it just goes, and then you got the act outs like Sean, oh my God, like impersonation. So sometimes, especially with my career and learning from them, I would call them, and if you say anything around them, they automatically go to that's funny. You be like, I just told you such and such passed away. They'd be like, yeah, that's not the funny part. The funny part is, and they'll come up with it. But I was just gonna say we've laughed at
that's lit
funerals
because
and,
they say
and all types
comedians
of
use
stuff.
humor. They use life as humor is what they say
Yes.
comedians use. So I could see that a lot of people might be like, well, what's funny in that? But
Yeah, and I like that
everything-
sports reference you threw in there too, because
The alley-oop.
I mean, I can just imagine we're a sports family and we're competitive. We talked about it in the last episode. I can just imagine y'all growing up with these jokes and roasting each other. I bet the roast,
Lord,
y'all got
the
the best
roast
roast. And I bet, was it competitive growing up?
The crazy thing is I was so like I want to say introvert in a way, around certain people, but you never wanted to. It's the bombing factor, right? So everybody has these jokes. It's funny, funny, and then there's that one Wayans that might have just not needed to jump into the conversation, and then our laughter is so huge you can hear it in the next city. So you have 20 Wayanses with different optics just screaming of laughter. It's just, but one of my favorite stories to tell is this is when I realized I think you can make anything funny if you wanted to. And I remember graduating from high school, and I graduated from a place where I didn't grow up in. I moved out there 2 years, didn't really have friends. But I graduated. My uncles and my aunt came to my graduation, and they came to my crib. The house wasn't that big, right? It couldn't fit that many people. So I told one of my friends, you can come, but you can't bring a +1 or +20. About 15 minutes later, he rolls around the corner with his mom in a wheelchair and his entourage of about 10 other family members. So I'm livid, right? It's my graduation day. I'm happy, but I am mad. Get in the house,
come on,
and one of my relatives go, don't worry about it, because now they want to take pictures and stuff, right? They go, don't worry about it. This one we was doing the Polaroids, right? So the ones where you got to go get the film
Box camera.
Yes.
So
yes.
So my relative go, don't worry about it, and they set everybody up, and then they stood behind them, and so basically the picture that was taken that they developed later only had their waist.
Oh.
You know what?
So you just saw pictures and stuff like this.
Like how you have to laugh. You cannot laugh at
You
that.
can't do nothing else but laugh. I
can't even be mad at that.
Graduation picture, they just stand there like, who is that now? You go.
Well, that's what I had on. Well, that's what I had on, so I know that's me.
Basically.
Facts. And speaking of that, so that's interesting because like how you said you can make anything funny.
Yeah.
So with comedians, I know people probably think y'all just get up there, boom, I'm gonna just tell some jokes. But anybody who knows there's a process. You gotta write, you gotta rehearse, you gotta test it on a group. So can you just talk about what is your process before you go do a stand-up? Like, especially starting a new one. Do you always just go to my old faithful if it's a big gig, or do you try to, bring new material out?
So it depends. Holding an audience for 45 minutes to an hour could be way harder than 15, 20 minutes. All day, 15, 20 minutes, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. But when you're trying to tell a story, also, I talk about my lifestyle, which I hate to really say that because if I was straight, then everything I'm talking about wouldn't be an issue, right? But I'm in these crowds, and you got some dudes up in there, you got some older people that go to church, and they'll hear it for about 5 minutes and be like, all right, but I'm talking about marriage, and I'm talking about trying to have kids and what that life looks like, for me. So, but my process is that I like to stay true to myself. It is showing stuff that I go through, and then also trying to make it relatable to everybody. But the darkest thing, so like right now, I'll say one of my premises, which is a lot of stuff has been crazy, right? Feels very end of the world-ish, and as a lesbian, it's scary. And it got me looking like I don't know if I want to be gay right now, just in case this is the time for Jesus.
Get off of here!
And she's like that so seriously.
She said it so serious.
I'm like all in. I was like, yeah, it's crazy out here right now.
Nah, but for real though, there are some crazy laws right now.
But for real, but the workout is I'm not gonna be gay, but at the same time, I did grow up a Jehovah's Witness, and it does sit in the back of my head. This joke is to try to pull in the church people who are like, oh, okay, so she get that God don't like this. And then to pull the gay people like, hey, man, I feel you, but don't give up.
She trying to appeal to both sides. There you go.
I like that, though. So that's what they say. Every real comedian takes inspiration from their real life, and so that's dope because you took you being a Jehovah's Witness. I can't what?
Man, it was just let's just say it's the scariest thing. Like my grandfather thought everybody was gay. Back in the day, that wasn't Jehovah's Witness. So I was fortunate to be in the generation of the Queen Latifahs and MC Lights because they wore baggy clothes, so you couldn't really
right.
You know what I mean? I was fitting in with the,
right. You couldn't really say
made it okay.
You don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
But my family did know. It's just I think when it came to religion, I searched for a lot of different avenues, and I think this speaks a lot about most of the LGBT people. We usually always try it before we really make the decision. I've been baptized. I try to learn Islam. I sat in front of the Israelites while they was just like homo.
Wow.
You
put the time in.
What I'm saying is, that's the crazy.
Wow. No, so when they go to your show, because you actually are going to have a tour, you already tour. You tour a lot, which is amazing. So during the pandemic, I'm glad to see that people are getting back out and touring. What should people take away when they leave your show? How do you want them to feel? What do you want the vibes to be when people leave a show that's yours?
Oh, man. Well, the first thing I want you to feel is that it was just a really hilarious show. I want you to feel, I want people to be able to dig into my world and see how we have a lot of similarities. There's a lot of struggles and stuff like that, and how you can turn a lot of those traumas and so forth and so on into good. But a lot of things have came into my life because I've made certain adjustments, and that's kind of where my whole hour is going right now. It's realizing,
love it,
and understanding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Absolutely.
And so I'm curious about this because you're a comedian, so I want to ask you all these type of questions. And the Speaking Comedy Tour dates in Atlanta are June 25th, and in Houston there's some other dates, so
June
check
26th,
it out. I just always want to drop a little bit of June 26th, okay? Drop some nuggets in there. But I'm always curious, I got to ask a comedian, is it a compliment or an insult when somebody is getting roasted in a set? If you're roasting somebody on your set, is that a compliment or is that an insult?
Well, I think comedians, for me, I like to have fun. And if you're fun, it's going to help the show, right? I've learned audience members a lot of times like to participate. They like to feel a part of the show. If you're not annoying or overly drunk because you don't know how to stop, it actually helps with certain jokes. I might say something and nobody is and then the audience member might say something. I go, that is what I'm talking about, and then it changes. You know what I mean? The whole thing. So it's not an insult only if you're not being annoying. Once you're being annoying, and then people just keep ragging on you and start to tell you to shut up.
Finish him.
Yeah, that's when it's which the club should ask them to leave or be quiet anyway. But that's the only when it's not a compliment.
No, I love that. So, like we said, you're touring. You can check out the headline. Marlon Wayans presents The Headliners. It's on HBO Max. You're touring. You're doing so many different things. You've already had your own big shows. So, is there anything that you really want to accomplish? Is there something that you're yeah, this is on my to-do list as far as performance?
I think the biggest thing is creating a show around my whole life. You know what I mean? That's my number one goal, and also I'm into this metaverse coming. I'm trying to build.
Oh boy!
Yes.
Oh boy!
Now you talking my language. Talking my language.
Listen, regardless of what y'all say, it's coming, and it's actually already here.
It's
and
taking
been
over
here for a minute. Mm-hmm. So. Y'all better get some real estate.
I'm gonna be in the metaverse tomorrow. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I got a gig tomorrow in the metaverse. I don't know what people think. I know y'all think that this is a fake world that we're talking about. There is money in that world. There is people buying land, people that you know that are famous, and that doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, people that have a lot of resources behind to look up, research, and figure out if this is a good investment, and they're investing. So I'm not saying everybody should invest, but I'm saying that people should warm up, snooka booka, to the idea of a metaverse.
Well, you know, I keep telling you that I've seen you out there. I see the metaverse almost every day.
Yeah.
No, see, she's trying to say the fake stuff in the world is the metaverse. No, there is a metaverse.
See, you talking about metaverse 1.0. We talking about metaverse. we just, you and the iPhone 1.
This is the Web 3.
She said you're the iPhone 1. Oh my gosh.
That's the problem.
Well, let me ask you, are you coming to Maryland? I need to check it out, but are you going to be coming to Maryland? Like, everybody wants to bypass Maryland.
So look, the tour has just started. We're racking up dates right now.
Oh, okay.
Maryland is on the list, as well as DC and Orlando. So these are the things I'm pulling in. I'll make sure.
Well, maybe that's where I can catch her at. We'll come up, Nikki.
Okay.
We'll come up and go to a show.
Maryland?
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I'm coming.
I'm in Maryland, so yes.
I'll be there.
Yep.
Let's go. Well, Chaunte,
please don't sit in the front.
Okay.
listen,
I won't be bothered. I won't be bothered. You can pick me out. I'm good hearted.
She's gonna
be a good sport. She's gonna play along.
No,
look.
y'all gonna come and it's gonna turn.
She said no.
Y'all
We don't want to roast.
And I'm gonna be like, in parentheses, it says.
Okay.
I don't want to curse. Like, it's a respect thing. I'm not really trying to.
She said, "Don't sit in the front. You gonna mess up her show."
Don't change anything because of me. But before we leave, one quick thing too. I just want to say that I know you come from a comedic family, and I was just so overjoyed to see Waylon in Bel Air. I thought that was he did Marlon. I'm sorry. I'm so excited. Marlon in Bel Air. He did phenomenal. And I know that all of you comedians in that family, you will probably be moving over to this big screen as well. You know,
drama. Comedians can do drama too. Is what Snook was barking.
Yes.
It don't mean you can only do comedy. And Marlon came through with the serious role. I don't even know if I like Marlon, and that's good for him because
that means he's believable.
Yes.
Have you seen Wreck-It Room for a Dream?
You know what? Let me tell you. I think my husband was talking about Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay,
so we haven't.
Okay, so
Watch
my
that.
husband was talking about that movie. I haven't seen it. He's seen it. And he was like, it was really good. So I got to watch that. So
Definitely.
let me just back up here. Yeah, if you come to Maryland, we won't sit in the front. But I would say you might want to have your car on deck because I don't know. Sometimes, Maryland, we kind of act up sometimes. I just don't know. I don't want to invite you here and not tell you. Just you might have to be on point.
She apologizing for the city already.
I'm apologizing if something gets out of hand. You know how we do,
man.
but just saying, come through. We would love for you to come through.
I'm coming. Yeah, it goes.
Okay.
Escape.
All right, Chaunte, I appreciate you hopping on here with us at Montgomery and Company. We gonna be at the show. Y'all check out Marlon Wayans Presents The Headliners on HBO Max and catch her out. She coming to a city near you.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
Thank you.